Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Dark Padre coming at you today with some Bloons TD5. I haven't really done an explanation video on this, and I'm not going to do a general one, maybe later. This one actually is for a specific trophy called Steely, and it requires you to pop 250,000 steel balloons. I was checking to see if there's anywhere I can show the trophy, but I can't. Anyways, 250,000 steel balloons is like ludicrous. It literally is by a large margin the hardest trophy to get in this entire game. Internet speculates that it's actually a mistake. It was supposed to be 25,000, not 250. And here's the main reason why. On the regular games, even at the hardest level, you'll get, I think it's something like 87 steel balloons. Let's just say it's 100. You can do the math. That's how many games you've got to play just to get this. So there's a couple ways around it. None of them are easy. I'm going to show you the easiest of the ways to kind of get around it. I still haven't accomplished this myself, but this is kind of the most brainless way to do it. The most efficient way to do it, I may try to do a video, but it basically deals with regenerating steel balloons. You push them away while you pop them, and by the time they come back to you, they've already regenerated to their full steel. You push them away again and pop them, and so on and so forth, and basically you just perpetuate this kind of cycle of popping and it regenerating, and then you walk away for 2 hours and come back. Anyways, that's not what I'm going to show you. What I'm going to show you is how to do it through a challenge, a random challenge or a random mission called Chemical Warfare. Now, the first thing is I have completed, you can see right here, all 250 of the random missions. You're pretty much going to have to do that to be able to find Chemical Warfare, because first they come up randomly, and second, if you've already completed it and you haven't finished all of them, you'll never see it, basically. So assuming that you've completed all 250 random missions, what you're going to do is you're going to go in and see if Chemical Warfare is not there, and it's not. We're going to back out and we're going to go right back in. It's going to give us another 9 random ones, and we're going to keep on doing this until we find Chemical Warfare. Now, the nice thing is, once you find Chemical Warfare, you don't have to actually do what I'm doing anymore, because once you complete it, you can just pick it again right off the bat. In addition, what we're going to do, maybe, I don't know, is restart it halfway through, because most of the steel balloons come through in the first half of the waves rather than the second half. Anyways, so again, I'm just going in and out of this menu and waiting until they finally give me Chemical Warfare. The reason we're picking Chemical Warfare is obviously it has the most steel balloons in it. I think what it does is everything, it's a normal progression, but everything that's below steel balloons basically gets upgraded to steel balloons. So steel balloons are the weakest of the balloons, which means most of the balloons that come out are going to be steel, unless they're ceramic or rainbow or the big ones. So wow, this is taking a while. There's obviously 250. We're only seeing 9 at a time. Again, you can do the math on what my odds are of actually getting it. But it's not specifically that, because they do kind of rotate it enough, meaning the ones that it knows I just looked at, well, it's very unlikely that they're going to be in this one. So on and so forth. So I apologize that this is kind of going on for a little longer than I expected and is boring, but you're going to probably have to do it too if you're going for this trophy. So I guess get used to it. I hope you're luckier than I am and it comes up in your first maybe 2 or 3, but that's not the case here. So God, and I hope it hasn't come up already and I actually skipped past. There we go, Chemical Warfare. So this is the one we want. I'm just going to go ahead and straight out pick it. Now, I've seen a few videos online of how to actually efficiently pass this mission, and all of them are ridiculous. So I'm going to really show you the brain dead easy way. Very first thing, glue gunner. We're going to pick him. I like putting him right around this area, right to where you'll see kind of in that upper, am I pointing? In the upper, well, I don't know how I can point at it. basically where the shadow of my range is, I want that to kind of line up with that upper right side as much as possible. And then you can see he can glue the things that are kind of coming down at the beginning and that are going to come up at the very end too. This guy isn't completely necessary, but I don't know, he's kind of helpful. We're going to do 2 on the left and 2 on the right off the bat. We're going to leave him alone. Then we're going to pick the Dartling gun, and this is basically the guy that's going to get everything done. Now we're going to put him in the lower left hand corner. Oh, I didn't explain something. One thing I've done is on my specialties, I've picked the Dartling gunner specialty, and what it does is it makes good Dartling gunners and all their upgrades. Damn mic. Anyways, the specialty allows, they're cheaper Dartling gunners and upgrades. They also do like 1 more popping power, and the best one is that instead of them following where your cursor is, you can actually set exactly where you want these guys to shoot. So putting him in the lower left hand corner, I want him to actually shoot to this area. And so what it's going to do, I'm just going to select it now. He's basically going to shoot over this lane, kind of through this thing, and then into here. Everything that's spawning out of here is going to get immediately hit. Everything that's spawning over here, or that gets past this, is obviously going to get hit here, is going to get hit here, and then is going to get hit again here. So we're really like getting a lot of area done. For this guy, because we have it, we're going to do 2 on the right and 3 on the left. We're going to go ahead and start it up. Now I'm actually going to go fast too, and you can see we're just going to, all of these are steel, but we're just going to tear through these really quick. You could set it to where you don't have to, I think in the options, you can make it to where, that's not it. Right here, that it auto starts rounds for you, which does make it even more brainless, but I like starting them anyways just because I like kind of the progression of upgrading my stuff. Nonetheless, the first thing we're going to completely upgrade is this guy. We're going to fully upgrade him on the left side. It basically allows him to eliminate steel balloons immediately. It liquefies them immediately, but he does not pick up on camo. You'll see right now that he can't see camo, so the camos are getting through him, but obviously this guy doesn't care. He just shoots shit, so all the camos are getting eaten up by him. Going on, you can see he does the glue gunner does a pretty good job on the steel balloons right off the bat anyways, without that final upgrade, but the final upgrade basically just, it liquefies them. It immediately kills them. So this guy's basically going to be killing all the balloons that are coming out of here. This Dartling gunner down here is killing all the balloons that are spawning over there. Nonetheless, this guy's almost ready for his final upgrade, and there we go. Now he's going to be kicking butt. These guys, so you can see he's just eliminating those things immediately. They don't even get to this middle thing. Now that we're done with him, we are going to put another Dartling gunner down here, and we're going to kind of do the same thing. Just, it doesn't really matter where we put him, but I'm going to line it up so he cuts through 3 lanes plus hits those spawners, and then I'm going to upgrade him as much as possible for the time being. So now, again, we're grinding. We're getting as many of these steel balloons as possible. I think, from what I read, let's see, every 20 minutes, so it's something like 1,000 every 5 minutes, but to do that, we're gonna have to stop it halfway through. I'll explain that actually when we get here. Nonetheless, we can upgrade this guy 1 more. I like to upgrade him to this point, to where they have kind of the, I don't know what these are, little laser. It's not like a full laser, but here, I'm gonna slow it down. The red shooty things, that's what I'm calling them. So I upgrade them to the red shooty things. I'm gonna put another one down. You can have a total of 4 of any tower in this mode. Again, gonna line them up exactly the same. I'm gonna upgrade them as much as possible. Start it up again. Once we have close to 7,000, we're gonna upgrade him to where he has the little red shooty things. There we go. Nice. We are going to put down our final one. Now with this guy, I'm just going to line them up right here. It doesn't really matter where you line this up, but just try to make it so that they're going kind of in that way. Nonetheless, I'm not going to upgrade him on the left side. I'm going to upgrade this guy on the right side, so it'll be those rockets rather than the red shooty things. It looks like they're lasers, but the final upgrade actually is a laser, so we can't call it that. So just waiting for about 7,200. There we go. Now we got rockets on that guy. So right now we're actually waiting. We're waiting to get about 20,000 monies till we can make our next upgrade. And a lot of this is just grinding. You know, I mean, if you've got something else to do while this is going on in the background, there's literally, you can turn it to auto start rounds or just keep your finger on triangle, and when you see no movement, just go for it. But basically, at this point in time, nothing's really going to get through. We're upgrading the stuff in the lower left, but once I get to this point, nothing actually gets through. In fact, I've done it so much that I never lose lives on these. It's kind of a fail-safe way. Just set up your 4 Gatling gunners down here. Seriously, I don't even know if this glue gunner is completely needed, but I put them down anyways because I always have the cash, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, the first final upgrade I'm going to do is on this guy. Not only does that give him an active ability, but it also, you can see, branched out his rockets to where he's shooting. Slow it down a little bit. It doesn't matter. He's shooting like one straight down the middle and then one kind of off to the left and the right at about 10 degrees. Okay, at this point, we're waiting for about 60K worth of funds so that we can upgrade these last 3. So again, this is just the brainless, I'm hitting triangle, or you can go to auto start. Now, one thing I'll mention is that one of the guides I read said at this point, once you get to about round 51, just restart this. So you basically go here and restart. Because most of the steel balloons show up in that time. For the purposes of this video, I'm not going to, just because I want to show that, you know, nothing's going to get through. We are going to get a few more steel balloons while we're doing it. Depending on how long this video is, I may go back and then show you kind of the quick way to do it while I'm not explaining, so you can see kind of how fast this all will actually happen. But nonetheless, this is why this trophy is so, like, stupid boring. It's torturous. Like, there's really no skill to this. Not that all trophies have skill, but it being the most difficult trophy is only because you have to, like, just sit in front of your computer or your station and grind this stuff out, and it's just mind-numbingly boring. Nonetheless, final upgrade on one of these, you can see that this thing is just a straight laser. It does an intense amount of damage. Nothing's really coming out of there at this point. You can see one of the big balloons, the blimps, came out, and it pretty much just annihilated that thing. So now we're going to, again, wait for about 60 grand so we can upgrade these last 2. Just going to kind of fly through these things as fast as possible. You'll see not as many steel balloons are coming out. The big balloons never contain steel balloons, so those don't count. Ceramics, I guess, are rated higher than steels, so those aren't counting. And then you'll see, like, rainbows and zebras will come through too. Here's a few steels. Those were camo steels. So, you know, I am getting some, but just not as many as in the first 20 rounds, because it starts on 30, but we'll just say the first 50 rounds. So again, just hitting triangle, getting through all of these things. I'm not really worried about anything. I'm not even using my active ability, which I think it just shoots out more of the bullets from that rocket thing. Here, I'm going to slow down, and then here's the active ability. Oh, that was it? Oh yeah, so it's shooting these rockets off like that at things. I mean, not very helpful, to be honest with you. One of the least helpful active abilities, in my opinion. So I really rarely use it. A few more steel camos coming through. Getting closer. There's some steels. You can see everything's just, very few things are passing that laser. And if they do, again, they still have to pass it 2 more times at very least. You see how just, I mean, everything's just getting torn apart. There's really no chance that these balloons have. I saw a really weird video that had a Gatling gunner up where I'm pointing right now and another one over here, and they were both just basically shooting back and forth at this lane. But it was like he had to use his active ability because he used his planes. So he had to use that every once in a while, and it just didn't seem efficient, where literally this, I could just kick back and hit triangle, and really I'm not worried about anything. This setup is just allowing me to just annihilate these balloons. Again, waiting for 60,000 to come up so I can upgrade another one of these Darkling gunners. So yeah, while we're waiting, this specific mission, you're only allowed to use the mortar, the Dartling gunner, the airplane, and the glue gunner. The airplane's okay, but it doesn't let you pick the side of the skill tree that would actually really help, which is kind of the gun that auto-locks on things, so it just wasn't worth it. The mortar is also pretty good, but it only hits a specific area, so again, it wasn't as efficient as these Dartling gunners. Nonetheless, I've got enough to upgrade one more, so we got 2 Rays of Doom now. We're doubly deadly. I used to put a glue gunner over here, where my pointer is right now, and then another one over here so that I could pick up the individual balloons that kind of do make it to this area. But then I realized that this guy could actually cover both areas pretty well, and so I didn't need 2 glue gunners anymore. Again, I may not need this glue gunner, in complete honesty. Even if a few get through at the very beginning, I mean, we have 500 health, but I have... I feel like I basically have found a way to 100% this every time, and so why screw with it, you know? Like, I've got this pattern, this method, and it works, so, you know, there's no reason to really change it. So again, waiting for our last 60,000 so we can upgrade this last Dartling gunner. We're getting close. We're at 78 of 85 rounds right now, so obviously the later rounds take a lot longer because there's a lot more balloons that come through. Grinding, grinding, grinding. And then there's no steel balloons here. Again, this is why it's suggested that you just restart it at level 50. I mean, you will see 1 or 2 steel balloons come through, but then again, and I know I've repeated this a couple times, but for, I guess, steel balloons per minute is much greater in the first 50 rounds than it is in the last. Okay, so we can now upgrade our final Ray of Doom. At this point in time, I don't need to do anything, but just for shits and giggles, I'm going to put down a mortar. I'm going to put it right there. We're going to go with the full left side upgrade path. And now I'm actually going to have cash for more. Again, totally not needed, but, you know, why not? It gives me something to do. I think we're around 83, yes. So 2 more rounds after this. This is probably the toughest round, and you'll see nothing gets through. You can upgrade this guy. I'm not even going to build anything else. I mean, it doesn't even matter. And the last one with the ZOMG, we're going to take that down pretty quick. You'll see it's going to pass that laser pretty easily. It's going to pass this, and then break up into the red ones, and it'll break up into the blue ones before it even gets to the next thing, and then they all get eaten up, and then bam, there we go. So at this point in time, so we complete it. But what's nice is we now, so long as we don't back out of this menu, we can now repick Chemical Warfare. So like I said, once you find it the first time, you can always repick it. So I'm going to pick it again. Now, I'm going to show you the quick way to do it, which is obviously restarting at level 50. But let's say you didn't want to do that and you're tired for the night. You just don't want to play this anymore. But again, you don't want to lose that bookmark you have in Chemical Warfare. What I basically do here, I'm going to 2 on the left, 2 on the right for this guy to begin with, and our Gatling gunner. So we start per usual. I'm going to line this guy up with that area. 3 on the left, 2 on the right. We're going to start up 1 round, get 1 round out of the way. And at this point in time, again, you want to go to bed. You don't want to lose your spot. You just hit select and exit. Go to home, and it's going to say, you want to save and exit? Yeah, I totally want to save that because I want a bookmark there. Now I'm back to the main menu, go back to challenges, go back to random mission, and bam, there is my save game. Obviously, you would have logged out and logged back in, but it's still going to be there. And so here we go. So that's how you kind of save it. Very last, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to do it really quick, but I'm going to show basically me starting over at level 51. Just to do it. More than anything else, it's going to be a full tutorial on everything you're going to need to know about this Chemical Warfare mission related to the Steely trophy. So I'm just going to hit triangle as often as I can to start those rounds. I'm going to get this guy up to 4, 2, 4 on the left, 2 on the right. So I need 13,500. Just keeping it open because I really don't care. Yeah, he's going to get it this round. Probably right at the end of this round, I think. Yeah, there we go. So now he's got that. So now I'm going to start building my other Dartling gunners. Wait to upgrade him to get him the red shooty things. Red shooty things. Let's put down another one. And again, they can kind of be anywhere over on this area. Just so long as they're... Just so long as they're in the lower left, they're going to cut through 3 lanes at least. So I like to keep them as close to the lower left as possible. Alright, waiting for 6155 so we can upgrade this guy. Nice. Now we're going to put down our final one, and this guy's going to be the one who shoots rockets. One thing, pretty much the most important upgrade for this Dartling gunner, all of them, is the second one on the right. So powerful darts, depleted plutonium. You can't pop a lead balloon without that. So I mean, it's one of the first ones, and I mean, so you really have to worry about it. But just know that you can't set up all the Dartling gunners and expect them to just pop lead right off the bat. They do need that second one on the right, the depleted uranium or whatever, depleted plutonium. I forget what it is already. Anyways, we're waiting to get this guy's rocket up. And there we go. Now, at this point in time, I am just burning through until we are at level 51. So I don't really have to upgrade anything else. Just watching them destroy these steel balloons. $47. $8. I can't upgrade this guy. $49. And 50. Okay, so boom, we just finished 50. So at this point in time, basically to be the most efficient is we are just going to restart. Restart, yes. It's gonna, we lost our progress of the game, but we did not lose our progress for the Steely accomplishment. It knows how many steel balloons we just destroyed. So just basically starting completely over. Put this thing up here. 3 on the left. 2 on the right, get 1 round out of the way. I either continue now and keep on doing this over and over and over. I haven't done the math on how many times you got to do it, but be prepared to do it a few times, like 50. I think, at least. So it is a grind, even doing kind of the brainless way. It's going to take a little while. So again, at this point in time, you can continue, or you can just go back to the home, and it'll save where you're at. So it'll have that bookmark for you. So there's no way to really check your progress on this. You just have to trust that you're getting closer to 250,000 steel balloons. I have still not gotten it, but I have been working on it, so I think I'm going to get it probably over this weekend. But if not, if I'm really struggling, I am going to go do that, the thing I was talking about at the very beginning, where you push back a regen steel so that it pops the steel, but it regens by the time it gets back to you. And so you can basically do that over and over and over within the same game. Nonetheless, I hope that was helpful to people. I probably will have another one coming on later on this weekend, maybe a general explanation, or I think I may be going for see how many rounds I can actually get out of a given map, because I haven't really done that before. So we'll see how it all goes. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I will catch you all next time. Love you.